2023. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the 2023 budget. I'm now being joined for more on this conversation by an economist, Paul Alaje. Thank you for joining us and Happy New Year to you, Mr. Alaje. Well, the budget that the president has signed now is an increase of 1.32 trillion naira to the 20.51 trillion naira that he proposed to the National Assembly. What do you make of this?
Well, the National Assembly have seen the need to increase the budget because they believe that the oil benchmark should be increased. They also increase the exchange rate, thereby having more funds to finance some of the recurrent expenditure. I mean, some of the recurrent expenditure and few capital expenditure, they feel became very necessary for the country.
All right, but then if you just mentioned the fact that increasing the exchange rate and all of that, but in recent time, Nigeria has not exactly been able to meet up with its benchmark for oil production. So how do we marry all of this and ensure that we're able to fund it?
Well, fantastic point you raised there. I doubt if we are going to meet a lot of projections in that budget. First of all, our expectation in inflation, I doubt if we will meet it. Exchange rate, I doubt it will not be worse off. I also doubt if we are going to meet up with the oil export targets in terms of what we expected to extract from crude. So there are a lot of things that beg for attention, and I doubt if we are able to achieve it. Again, revenue expectation. Government is also looking at something that is perhaps one of the highest in recent history. For 2022, we were unable to meet our revenue target. For 2021, we were able to meet our revenue target. And revenue target, meeting the revenue target has been a major concern for us as a country in recent history, especially at the federal level. It's a big challenge, and I know a number of states that are able to do the same. I don't know what will be different in this budget, but I doubt if there will be a difference.
Well, 21.83 trillion is actually unprecedented as a budget in Nigeria. How do we fund this? And they're also concerned as to why it is this high. Is it because of the elections?
Well, I wouldn't say it's because of elections. When you look at how government has budgeted across board from CAPEX, especially in CAPEX, government has put some money in education. Health is taking less than 5%. Education is less than 50% of the NEXCO's recommendation. The one for health is less than half of what we call Abuja Accord in 2010 or so by different commissioners of education and the Minister of Education as at that time. What it means is that even though this amount looks big, when you convert it to dollar, we're talking of less than $50 billion. That perhaps is the research for some notable universities around the world. And I tell you, the amount seems big because our exchange rate is poor. But when you compare it in global standard, you realize that the amount we are budgeting is indeed low. Now, with the low amount, the real question is, how do we intend to finance it? Significant proportion of this budget will come from borrowings, and we have over 6.55 trillion naira that we spend on service of debt. We are not using it to pay debt back, just to service. It's not part of the sinking fund. We are not using it to retire what we have borrowed. And so when you have 6.55, that's huge. Leave that one on one side. On the second side, we have less than 6 trillion naira for capital expenditure. For the first time in history, Nigeria will spend more money to service debt than what we are budgeting to build infrastructure. We can only wait how the year will be, especially when most of our earnings will go into debt service. So when people say that we have nothing to worry about, I can tell you.
All right, Mr. Alaje, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us on the signing of the budget by President Muhammadu Buhari earlier today.